We've had a 2.6 magnitude earthquake striking Virginia today. It was about a 6-mile depth. This is just a few days after the 3.8 that struck off Seneca, Buffalo, New York, around the Niagara Falls area. I spelled it wrong in the video, sorry. But this is 2.6 today, and this 11 people reported it, feeling it. This is it right here. And let's go to the fault lines. They don't have any fault lines there, but we know that it's at the coast of the plate, of the continental plate. And this is the Adirondacks, as we know. These are underwater volcanoes right here. We know that Maine has 5 volcanoes. 4 of them are in a 100-mile stretch. And this is the area that we had the 3.8 a couple of days ago in Buffalo. This we know basically is a rift, the New Madrid Rift Valley. It's called seismic zone, but it's a rift valley actually. We have the separation here going off the Mississippi River this way, the Great Lakes, and the St. Lawrence River this way. And of course, we know that we have a mantle plume under the Great Lakes. It's been there for 1 billion years, right here. So that is a horseshoe-shaped mantle plume. There's magma under there, and the eastern part goes this way. The western part goes this way. It what has stretched Lake Superior from Wyoming. This continental stretch here is because of the magma underneath. This is Yellowstone right there. So this is what's happening here today. This is where it is. Let's pan in a little bit. They do have some faults here on the mountains. And we know that wherever you have a river, as we have learned from Geology 101, I was lucky enough to take a geology course in college, and one which was really, really interesting. And this is where it is. Every river is a fault line. So this is where it is. You can even see cracks around here, right? And we have the underwater volcanoes, the underwater subterranean volcanoes here, about 30 of them, pointing towards Cape Cod. Okay, so all of you there, please be very careful. This is where we are. 11 people felt it, reported feeling it, so a lot more felt it. Now the tectonic summary of the area. Most of North America, east of the Rockies, has infrequent earthquakes. Here and there, earthquakes are more numerous. For example, New Madrid seismic zone, centered on southeastern Missouri. Charlevoix, Kamouraska seismic zone, east of Quebec, of eastern Quebec. In New England, in New York, Philadelphia, Wilmington, urban corridor. That's what we're talking about here. This is just south of Delaware. South of Delaware. Wilmington, Delaware. Okay, right there. And now, however, most of the enormous region from the Rockies to the Atlantic can go years without an earthquake large enough to be felt, and several U.S. states have never reported a damaging earthquake. Earthquakes east of the Rockies, although less frequent than the west, are typically felt over a much broader region. Then earthquakes of similar magnitude in the west. East of the Rockies, an earthquake can be felt over an area more than 10 times larger than a similar magnitude earthquake on the west coast. It would not be unusual for a magnitude 4 earthquake in eastern or central North America to be felt by a significant percentage of population in many communities more than 60 miles from the source. And now he says here, most earthquakes in North America east of the Rockies occur as faulting within bedrock, usually miles deep. Few earthquakes east of the Rockies have been definitely linked to mapped geological faults. In contrast to the situation at plate boundaries such as California's San Andreas fault system, where scientists can commonly use geological evidence to identify a fault that has produced a large earthquake and that is likely to produce large future earthquakes. Scientists who study eastern and central North American earthquakes often work from the hypothesis that modern earthquakes occur as a result of slip on pre-existing faults and were formed in earlier geologic areas and that have been reactivated under the current stress conditions. The bedrock of eastern North America is, however, laced with faults that were active in earlier geological eras, and few of these faults are known to have been active in the current geological era. In most areas east of the Rockies, the likelihood of future damaging quakes is currently estimated from the frequencies and sizes of instrumental recording earthquakes documented in historical records. Now, induced seismicity, okay, they're talking about fracking here. I'm sure we don't have fracking on the coast here near Delaware, okay? And this is Washington, D.C. area right there. So a lot of, as you can see, sections of land and a lot of rivers there. That's why it's also on the end of the continental plate. So all of you there, please be very careful. Oh, we do have some, they do show some, no, that's not fault lines. Those are just the waters there. Okay. Okay, so all of you there, please be very careful because of the fact that we have had the 3.8 in the area as well a few days ago. Thank you for your support. Please leave your comments. Thank you. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.